Hi everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to 221B Gaming. Today we're going to have some more chatter about E3. The conference we're going to go over today is Ubisoft. It was my favourite conference, primarily because of Aisha Tyler. Big shout out to her. She was incredibly funny, as she always is. Like she said, it was her fifth year, and she wanted wood.
Yes, you did.
So we're going to set this to some Division gameplay. We've got a lot to get through. With me today, I have the usual suspects in no particular order. There's Carl Coffey.
Hello.
There is Carl Kenko.
How's it going, guys?
And Chris0985.
How to do it?
Okay, yeah, so let's go and buy some HVT targets and talk about some bloody Ubisoft.
EUB, stuff D.
So, like I said, Ubisoft was my favourite conference. It wasn't necessarily for the breadth of games or whatever they showed. It was the actual pageantry of the show, the fact that Aisha Tyler was there. It was a funny, well put together show with genuine interviews and stuff.
Yeah, it was. And I agree. Probably didn't have the biggest lineup of games, but it had by far my most anticipated game, which we all know, which Wildlands, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. So the show opened with a cavalcade of dancing.
Yeah.
Giraffes with monocles,
Giraffes.
monkeys, everything. It was fun, you know what I mean? Obviously, we're not giant Just Dance fans, and that's the reason that they did it.
Oh,
but,
was it Queen who was singing?
Yeah, it was Don't Stop Me Now.
Don't Stop Me Now, yeah.
Yeah. Which great song.
Why am I trying to shoot a human? A human? Yeah.
A human, as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to shoot a civilian.
No, it was a good opening to the show. I suppose the most exciting thing about Just Dance for most people is that they confirmed it for the Nintendo NX, which is launched next fall. It's good news if you're interested in getting the NX. Like I'd be interested in the NX, but for different reasons, for new Mario games and Zelda and such. But it was fun. It was a fun way to open the show.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to go in order here. If we go in order, then we're talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands gameplay.
Just keep that till last.
We want to keep that to last, right? That's the secret. Pretend you didn't hear any of this. Okay, so we're going to talk about. There was a new South Park game announced, The Fractured But Whole.
Fractured
Notice the pause. No. Notice the pause. The Fractured But Whole.
I see. I see what they did there. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they came out straight out of the gate with some theatrical videos and a little bit of gameplay. The usual mix of South Park comedy and the kind of RPG action elements that they developed in the Stick of Truth. Basically the idea is that a day has passed since the last game, and since they're not playing kind of Lord of the Rings epic fantasy anymore, they've decided to play superheroes because that's obviously the flavour of the month. Packed in was a load of jokes about DC and Marvel and stuff, but before that they brought out Matt Smith and Trey Parker to talk about the game.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith, have I got... what did I say? Matt Stone.
Matt Stone.
Yeah, Doctor Who. Doctor Who was just talking about South Park. Just a chit chat. Let's talk to Doctor Who. Matt Stone and Trey Parker to talk about the game. And one of their opening lines was that apparently Marvel wanted Captain America, the Fractured But Whole, but they got it first, so they had to name a Civil War.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into the fact that the game is basically Civil War. So Cartman devises the plan to have a 3-stage rollout of films to do with all their characters, but half of them are unhappy, so they split, and so they move straight into Phase 3, and we're having South Park Civil War.
Yep.
It really does look funny, you know what I mean?
It does,
like, genuinely funny. I mean, there was no doubt that was going to be funny, but funnier maybe than even the first game. The jokes just seem to be on point. The way these guys are so topical so quickly is insane.
Yeah. It looks really good. And I never played the first one.
No.
And we do get it free with the new one.
Yeah.
Or is it just from pre-order, or is it just free to everyone?
I think they said anyone who pre-orders it, but I have to imagine that if you buy whatever edition comes with the free game, even after launch, you'll probably get the free game.
Right.
But I mean, why wouldn't you pre-order? Pre-order South Park.
Exactly. Yeah. It
I'd
looks
hope you
great.
get a free
It
copy
sounds
at
great.
least.
It is great. Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
they
and the
said
trailer was great as well.
trailer
They
was
showed a
great.
trailer at the end.
So they said that they wanted to keep elements from the combat system, the turn-based combat system of the first game, which is probably a very good idea. It really did play out well there. They could infuse battle with story elements with that gameplay. But they also said because it's a superhero game, they wanted more action, so it's more dynamic combat system. There's movement. You can flank enemies. There's different things in this one. All the additions seem to work perfectly on screen anyway when they showed the gameplay. You play as the new kid again, and Cartman gives your character an origin story in the trailer. And your tragic origins is that you wake up one night and you can hear your parents screaming, and you walk into their bedroom, and it turns out your dad fucked your mom.
Yep.
And Cartman is quickly quashed by Kyle, who's saying everyone's dad fucked their mom, and Cartman's like, "What? So you're saying your dad fucked your mom?" Yes, that's what I'm saying, Cartman. You know what I mean? And that's just, I mean, that's the best origin story I've heard in a long time. You know.
Yeah.
Tom, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good laugh, good for streaming and stuff. It launches on the 6th of December this year, so you can get it in 6 months ish.
Another Christmas themed game.
Yeah, we're getting a few.
That'll be good.
We're getting more and more December releases from different game studios, is what I'm noticing.
Yeah.
It's caused like the September, October, November slate is so full.
Yeah, it's packed. Yeah.
Even
All the
August
big names in there as well.
is starting to creep up into that kind of window. So after that, Ubisoft moved straight on to the game we're playing right now, Tom Clancy's The Division.
The Division.
So earlier in the Microsoft conference, we got a trailer for the new DLC coming out later this month, Underground.
Yep.
They kind of elaborated on that. It's coming out on the 28th of June. It's a dungeon sprawling. It's random instance gameplay, so every time you go down there, it's going to be something different. Different layout, different enemies, different objectives.
Which is great.
Yeah. Real nice, Chris.
He was already dead.
Yeah, okay. Psycho.
I promise.
Personally, yeah, like I think most of the complaints about this game, just like let's say Destiny or anything else comparative on console, is the stark lack of content after the first kind of say 15 hours of gameplay. And this is a really good way of introducing replayability without having to do a massive amount of work. I mean, I'm sure it still was a lot of work, but you know what I mean? It's a way of kind of introducing that dynamically because you never know what you're going to get. We also saw a trailer for the expansion pack number 2, which is apparently coming soon. I'm going to assume probably August.
Fall. Yeah.
August, September. And this one was called Survival.
Really good trailer.
You want to run us through it, Martin?
Yeah, so the trailer basically showed off what one person stranded, like the place was just completely dead. And to be honest, at first we all thought they were going to jump out with some kind of zombies or something, when it's called survival, and you're thinking, oh god, what's going to happen here? Is this like a different mode, or it's going to be like the first raid thing? What are they called?
Incursions.
Incursion. The first incursion, how it's kind of like a wave mode. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like that. It's the first thing that hit my mind for sure, but it's just like a new branch of enemy, isn't it? And you're kind of stranded.
Yeah, so it looks to me anyway that it's going to be looters and shooters. that you're going to be in a particular part of New York and resources are going to be scarce on the ground, and you're going to have to team up to kind of not only fight against obviously the selection of enemies we have, but to control resource points, I imagine. Again, this complete speculation. It was just a theatrical trailer.
Yeah. They didn't give too much away.
So it shows the one stranded guy being beaten in an alley by a couple of griefers, and then you see them dropping, and a crew comes in. It's the whole idea of it's the same type of thing. No one survives alone, all that. So I assume we're probably going to get a larger part of the map opened up, maybe Central Park, that type of thing. And it is going to be resource-based survival, which is good. It's a very good idea.
Mhm.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like we hate the idea of horde modes, but horde modes in very enclosed spaces aren't fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind fortress defense that way.
Ah,
No, but yeah,
Beat
it
up.
looks really good.
Yeah. You see at the end of the trailer as well that they're introducing kind of a new enemy type.
Oh, the big
to
guy.
me, to me, he just looks like an elite tank shotgunner. I mean, he's huge.
Yeah.
He really, really, really good intro. He walks in and he blasts someone in the back with a shotgun, and it zooms in on his mask, kind of ultra military hockey mask face, and it was a good way to finish that up.
well, I tell you, he scared me.
I was thinking about playing The Division, but not anymore. So yeah, we'll have that to look forward to. I suppose keep your eye on Underground first, and then look out for details of survival.
Yeah, and we'll
Straight-
be bringing gameplay of both. So
Yeah, immediately, sooner than
Immediately.
immediately. Right now, no, I wish.
yesterday.
After we got the little Division update, I want to say as well, the guy who came out to announce the Division updates had a bit of banter back and forth with Aisha Tyler because she was wearing high heels, and he came out and he looked like a midget, and he's like, "I'm not really this short, Aisha. Okay, you had to wear those shoes." But straight up after that, we got our VR demo at the Ubi stage. It's a game called Eagle Fly. Paul Marlucki, the developer and creator of the Oculus Rift, came out with a team of guys to play it. What did you guys think of the gameplay of Eagle Fly?
Oh,
That was awesome. Looked kind of difficult.
Yeah, I'd say with them kind of fast swooping paced action, you really have to. I'd say you either have to get used to it very quickly, or you have to take breaks quite constantly.
Yeah. Definitely one or the other, because I don't know, like the people that did the demo, they must have had a ton of practice. Like they were
Oh, yeah.
flawless on there.
Yeah.
But there's so many like tight spaces, and they're just I would hit into everything. I would crash things.
So how would you
that's sat my
describe
bloody weight
the
off on a wall.
gameplay?
Well, what did they play? They played, what was it, kind of like a
Capture the flag.
capture
Capture
the
the flag,
capture the
yeah.
rat or something. Capture
Yeah,
the
capture the
rabbit.
The rabbit. Yeah.
capture the rabbit. Yeah.
So you basically, when you're first person, it's kind of a first person flight simulator. You play as an eagle on a team of eagles in Paris, France. The graphics are kind of mixed cell shady, and so the objective being that you and your team have to secure an objective, in this case a dead rabbit, and you have to get it back to your nest.
yeah.
It looks kind of like what we were saying, a VR Rocket League in the sky. Something kind of incredible and a bit frenetic and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good description.
If you've ever played Rocket League, if you haven't, that makes absolutely no sense. So like we
If
saw
you
the
haven't played
eagles
Rocket
swoop
League,
in and
dead
out,
now.
take shortcuts, head through little tunnels. Everything seemed kind of fast paced and breathtaking. The rabbit would spawn in random locations. Once you pick up the rabbit, you can be attacked by the other team. You can be spotted and all. The idea of being quick and stealthy and having a lot of teamwork and communication kind of came through.
Yeah.
It was a nice foray into VR and seeing what we might get, obviously, on any VR system, because obviously that demo I don't think was necessarily graphically intensive, but the gameplay seemed like it was really sweet.
Ah,
Yeah, it looked fun though.
Yeah, it did. I'd play it.
Yeah, I'd give it a try.
thank you.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say about Eagle Flight. I mean, we wait and see. Obviously, none of us have VR headsets yet. We hopefully will in the future, and that's one game I would like to go at.
Martin, it did it again.
Uh-oh. This is what happened to me and Chris last time. It locked us in. There's
Yeah.
literally no way out apart from
happened-
killing ourselves.
You can't fast travel?
Nope, there's an enemy outside. I will come back and kill him though.
I don't think it worked last time either, did it?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah, so Eagle Flight VR launches presumably on, I kind of assume it's an Oculus exclusive. That's just my guess, because Palmer Lucky was there. So that launches in 2016, and you can pick it up then. And from one VR foray into another one, Star Trek Bridge Crew was revealed at the Ubisoft conference.
Yeah. This one looks pretty cool as well.
Yeah. You got anything to say about special guests? Huh?
Mr. LeVar, I do. LeVar Burton.
That was awesome.
We need to send a tweet out to Childish Gambino right now.
Gambino. Yeah. We're just assuming that's actually his real hero.
Yeah.
But LeVar Burton and some of the other guys from some of the different Star Trek series ran the VR demo for Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah, who do we have then? So we had LeVar Burton, we had Carl Urban from he's from the new Star Trek. He's the McCoy.
And
we had the other chick.
the lady
blonde
from
She was in Voyager.
she was
as
a Voyager.
Voyager, yeah.
Yep.
And then there was the guy that was in the show, the
Ubisoft host.
Ubisoft
whatever.
guy, yeah.
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 So the gameplay
So,
Bridge Crew showed off team-based. What would you call it?
what's like just piloting the ship, right?
The Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Guys,
So, I guess in a way you could compare it to Sea of Thieves, if you get me.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
You know, each person has a role.
try
yeah.
fast traveling. Don't. Oh shit.
Each person has a role. You know, someone's the captain, and everything else, and you can assign which one's which. So it's similar, and it's a great system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guys playing it seemed to have a really good time.
Yeah, they did.
Doing what they were
And,
doing. LeVar was really into it.
He was the captain. Like, you know, he wasn't the captain in the show, but he
No, he's the
loved
engineer.
being the captain and being in charge. Yeah, and he did. He took control, and he was giving out orders, and they were enjoying it and stuff. So, hope maybe if we ever get to try it, we'll need a quick thinking captain. I'll probably crash us. You know, that's my idea of a good time.
Well, you're not the pilot, then that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reality of it, like obviously virtual reality is the main point of it is immersion, and it did seem very immersive. The graphics weren't hyper realistic or one-to-one to real life or whatever, but I won't think that'll matter when you're kind of sitting. You feel like you're sitting in a ship with your friends, and if you do engage the lingo and role play a bit, I'd say it's pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
LeVar came out on stage then with Aisha Tyler. She totally fangirled out, which was great. And just talked more about the actual experience of it.
Yeah. Everyone seemed to like it. Aisha wanted to take LeVar home.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Just look, have a look. Just like a little baby's pen and put LeVar in it. It's like you're mine now. He's just too precious for this world.
So Star Trek Bridge Crew launches in 2016. I'm assuming the release date probably coincides with Eagle Flight. I think Oculus are going to be pushing out a suite of games. Okay, I'm going to go off script here and not keep going in order. I'm going to just say as well, Ubisoft announced Grow Up, It's a sequel to the game Grow Home. It follows the trials and tribulations of a small robot growing up in an unfamiliar world.
Yeah, which we know very little about, or I do. I don't think I played the first one. I don't know if any of you did, if any of you guys did.
No, I had no hands on with it at all. But there did seem to be a lot of fans in the audience, and we just thought we'd mention it.
Yeah.
That arrives in August 2016.
August, cool.
Yeah. Then we got a pretty weird kind of couple of guys ran out onto the stage. They looked like LMFAO. It turned out they were the creative directors behind Fallout,
Dragon and
fucking Far Cry
Zelda?
3,
Far
Blood Dragon,
Cry 3,
sorry, Fallout, and Trials.
Trials,
So
yeah.
basically, they had a baby. They came out to a
That's
big
what they
fanfare
said.
music.
That's what they-
No one knew what was going on. Some
Yeah.
guy in the crowd got really angry. I'm telling you, watch it back. When the guys in the leopard print come out, some guy in the crowd got really angry that his Jufro got ruffled.
It's like when Gaga brushed past DiCaprio.
Yeah, it's really weird.
that look he gets, yeah, he wasn't happy. Looks fun though. Like, it looks alright. Like, I never played Trials. I know quite a lot of people did it. I know I want to.
I've actually started playing. I have played Trials. I played one Trials game, but I've actually started playing the app Trials
All right.
Frontier. Oh, I think it's called. It's fantastic. I'm not a big mobile gamer at all. There's certain games, Soccer Stars and stuff like that we play together.
Yeah.
But Trials on the S6, it's fantastic.
Cool.
So this is worth looking into. Obviously, they said so it's kind of super exaggerated neon 80s fanfare coupled with classic Trials gameplay and some lunacy. They even the trailer for it. They even showed what looked like really crappy 80s ads for action figures.
Yeah.
It was a nice kickback. It was a nice thing to do. You know what I mean? It was funny.
Ah,
It was
sure guns.
it was interesting. All right.
Chris, you played Trials, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got Trials Fusion on the Xbox. I've got it downloaded.
And are you excited about this? Do you like the look of it?
I am.
I do.
It's really different. It's not just on a bike anymore. I've seen a truck. I've seen a guy running and shooting.
Well, that's. I mean,
it's
I
insane.
think. I think when they said they had a baby, I don't think they just meant, listen, we've taken a Trials game and we've splashed in the 80 sci-fi of Blood Dragon. I think they've merged it again, which is just a great idea. So that's available right now. They launched a post-conference. There's a couple of reviews up online and mostly looks positive. So if you're interested in that, you can pick it up right now from the Xbox or PS4 or Steam.
And it is only, I think, £11.
Yep, and probably €17. It's a guess. I haven't checked.
Yeah. Roughly.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. Straight after that, we got a little bit more about the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice. We got an interview with what is he? Was he a writer or?
I think so. I think he's high in the food chain.
Yeah. So we talked
High in
about
the food chain.
it. Really excited for this property. I know Warcraft launched to mixed reviews just in terms of video game movies, but the quality obviously seems to be going up from what the schlock we used to get. And I don't think Michael Fassbender would be involved in something right now if it wasn't going to be very good.
No, I think he's a quality actor. I think he chooses his parts
Dissociate
wisely.
himself. Yeah. So apparently the movie, just for a little bit of background, you play Michael Fassbender plays the Desmond role. It's not Desmond. It's Connor. I want to say.
Connor.
Yeah,
Sounds
in,
right.
in
Right.
modern day or slight future, we don't really know the exact date line on that. And he's the one being put into the Animus to relive the memories of his ancestor Aguiliar, in Spain, I believe.
Yeah.
Apparently, 60% of the movie is set in normal time, in present day, which people aren't too happy about.
I mean, that's
Nobody's ever happy.
that's fine. That's fine if you know if you. Well, I mean, it's a bit early days, but if there's a sequel,
Yeah, no, I think they need
I'm
to.
sure
I
they
think
would.
you've got to consider
on.
that with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard and some of the people involved in this. I think Jeremy Irons. It's not only going to be
Yeah,
video
he's in
games
it, yeah.
fans going to see it, and while I do think that you should definitely do a good bit of fan service, they obviously it's a business fucking model. They need to make
Yeah,
money from
at the end
people
of the
who
day,
don't
it's a
play video
movie.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, movies aren't just for
Why did I shotgun
the
that?
people in
They're
question.
not just for us nerds.
Yeah.
They're for every nerd.
Yeah,
If that was the case, nobody would watch documentaries.
exactly. Film launches in December. Visually very striking. I'm just hoping it's really gonna nail the video game movie genre.
Yeah, it looks good. They had a little kind of glimpse at some of what went on when they were making it. You seen him like do a couple of stunts and stuff. That might have been on the Daily Show, but there was a little bit of a trailer of it, which looked cool. But it's like you were saying, like assassins, they're assassins and they're very polished. They're very professional. So any stunts I think have to be spot on.
Yeah, a lot of free running, a lot of jumping off you, a lot of
Yeah.
stabbing people in the guts.
Yes, sir.
I'd say there's going to be some really good set pieces. I'd say the action in it. I mean, that little bit you saw of Fassbender in the courtyard with the sword out, I'd say that's going to be pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, so that comes out in December. I'm sure we'll get like 16 more trailers between now and then. I look forward to them.
No doubt. Yeah.
Now for my kind of second favourite trailer of the Ubisoft conference, For Honor.
For Honor. Yep.
So this game was announced last year, last E3. I've 7 Intel, so I haven't got enough to buy anything if anyone else has some
I've got
money.
10.
Cool. So we got a second cinematic trailer that showed a knight, a samurai, and a Viking kind of change through the ages, all still battling each other while the body starts to surround them. And then you hear a voiceover come in. The person that seems to be the kind of antagonist in the game says they strive for peace, but they won't have it. They'll soon know my name is Apollyon, and I bring war. So, in as much as there probably is like faction movements and stuff in it, there is going to be a main villain, I think, to the story.
Yeah.
She was pretty cool looking. She was pretty big, and there was some kick-ass armor she had on her. The graphics in not only in the theatrical trailer but in the gameplay we saw were just astounding. Do you want to talk a little bit about the gameplay, Martin?
All right. So last year they showed a little bit of the mechanics, the fighting mechanics, which it's kind of straightforward, but it's got the new system where you're completely immersed in the fight. So you have to move left and right to dodge attacks, which is great.
They
And
call it the Art of War system.
the art of war. That's right. And it looks more complex than
Or the Art of
than
Battle.
I thought.
I might be wrong.
Well, see, the first thing it made me think of was Rise, Son of Rome. You know how the combat system was press
Yeah.
what's on screen kind of thing, and it was really simple.
Button prompts, like.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah, it's an overhaul system. Even the guy playing the demo wasn't great.
Yeah, he kept missing the block. Yeah,
I think last year they showed us multiplayer, didn't they? That's what that was.
they showed us multiplayer last year, and this year was campaign. Yeah,
Yeah. So the gameplay, you start out as a Viking.
yeah, they showed us the Viking side of things. So you get to choose what you want to be. You get to choose either of the 3 factions, and and you lead your army basically and attack the other. I'm not 100% on how it works. Like I don't know if you have more details on that, but
Well, it seems like you're always gonna kind of be a hero from any of the factions.
Yeah.
In the gameplay they showed us, you were kind of a bigger Viking than the other Vikings. I didn't see anyone quite of your size.
that was the same for the other factions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, your character was like huge, even the samurais and the knights, but your soldiers were tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, not
I don't know
tiny,
if
but normal human size.
Well, yeah. Some say like I don't know if the purpose of that is just so that your character stands out, or if there is a genuine purpose why.
Yeah,
this
why you would be
individual
that much
characters
taller
are-
than the rest of
Yeah,
your group.
yeah,
But yeah, so you see a Viking raid boats coming in and attacking a classic kind of Japanese samurai fortress.
yep.
Battle ensues. Obviously, you see your crowd dying, and then you get into one-on-ones with not only the kind of peons of the other army, but the generals as well.
Mm-hmm.
We saw some pretty badass samurais. We saw some wall climbing, and then kind of a boss battle. It just
Yeah, so
looked
they
ahead.
go against each other, right? And then it turns out that there's this overall enemy as well. Like there's like a or something like
Napoleon.
that. Is that who the bad person is?
Well, not in the gameplay trailer. They didn't kind of elaborate on her role in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Viking faces off against kind of a master samurai at the end of the trailer, and that's all we kind of see.
That's right.
But yeah, the battles and the graphics just blew me right away.
Yeah.
And also, that game has the coolest creative director in the world.
Yeah, I was going to
see-
say we need
If
to
you
give him
didn't
a
see the
mention.
conference, his name is Jason Vanderberg,
Vanderberg.
and he is just like he looks like he was crafted in battle.
Old man with a stick.
Yeah, he's got all black clothes, a pimp cane, and great voice. He's a cool dude.
Over enthusiastic, but
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah, well, he seems to love what he's doing, and that's always good.
Yeah. It was even like straight after they all sat on the couch and did some questions. When it came to him, he was like proper answering it like he was acting out a movie. Like it was awesome. Like he's putting a lot of motivation into it for himself, and it's good to see that. You want to see that from a creator.
Yeah.
We love what they do.
So For Honor launches on all platforms on February 14th of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can probably look forward to a beta before then. I'll say they'll stress test the multiplayer component because of the way it kind of plays out.
Yep, and I'll be signing up for that for sure.
Why not? Why not? So Watch Dogs 2 was announced. It was announced before E3, but we got a gameplay trailer this time.
Yeah.
Anyone want to talk to that?
Well, from my point of view, I just obviously I bought Watch Dogs 1, but I never played too much of it. You know my deal. There's other games
I
out,
did.
and, so like for me, seeing the trailer and stuff was great. We've got a new main guy,
Protagonist.
a new protagonist, yeah. And it seems like they've gone a little bit more in depth with the stuff that you can actually do.
Yeah,
with
well, that was
with the control of your phone.
the big complaint about the first game was that they bit off more than they could chew. Like the stuff
Right.
they kind of showed in the trailer didn't really pan out. It was quite lackluster.
Yeah.
But in this one, like you said, you can go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. You can do more with your phone.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you can do more with your phone, and yeah, and it looks good. Like
Yeah,
the characters look good. It showed off was it just the one guy it showed off of like the main guys?
Your
The guy with the
companion.
mask?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He's
Yeah, like a Daft Punk
bit of
groupie. A Daft Punk mixed with Sex Pistols. That's what I'd say. No, but the whole game kind of looks more fluid than before. There's a lot more things you can do with your hacks. Kind of hit some classic tropes of acting like all hackers are cool young people when, you know what I mean, that's not always true.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's a video game.
Yeah.
No, but I'm looking forward to it. I think the mix of modes. I read earlier someone did a little, review on the gameplay trailer, and they were talking about how Watch Dogs 2 is set to unleash its inner GTA, which is probably
Right.
true. I'd say we're going to get more manic gameplay, more in-depth mission types and options, and a bigger world, one presumes.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a different area as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the new city.
Yeah.
I want to say San Francisco. I think I'm fairly sure it is San Francisco Bay Area.
Possibly.
Does seem like it. It's
Yeah.
just the entire layout of the Bay Area. It reminds me of Drive to San Francisco. It reminds me of some of that map.
Well, yeah, it probably is that. So the it launched on November 15th, and since since Ubisoft have an exclusivity deal with Sony, DLC is forced on PS4 30 days early.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's Watch Dogs. Let's get to our second last thing for this show. Kind of a left fielder, steep.
Steep, yeah. We all thought it was going to be the return of SSX, which would have been
Fingers
awesome.
crossed. Yeah.
It looks good. It's brand new. They saved it till last, and they showed off multiple. So what? It's just doing stunts in different ways.
It's kind of it's the X Games of the snow regions, is how I'd kind of describe it. It's not only extreme sports, but exploration and paragliding and stuff.
Yeah, and it's set in France. It's set
In
in
the
the Mont Blanc is I think the biggest peak, and it's what the studio that created it are supposed to be right at the base of the mountain.
Yeah, the mountain beside Mont Blanc. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the biggest peak in Europe.
it is.
So they developed the game seems to be a lot more about, like, there is competition and there's racing and there's best trick lines and stuff, but it's a lot more about just experiencing the actual area. It seems like I'd be shocked if they didn't bring this to VR, because it seems like virtual tourism to me.
VR would be crazy. Going
Yeah.
down when we were watching it, we said that, but then they showed a guy in first person, and you can also go back and view from like different angles and stuff, and even that looks crazy. VR would be pretty
Stomach
scary.
trembling.
Yeah, VR would be awesome. It would be adrenaline.
So yeah, for that one, the base gameplay kind of focuses on your own exploration, perfecting your type of thing. It's the GoPro mentality. It's finding the sickest picture and stuff, but virtually instead of in reality. Because let's be honest, I'm never going to do snowboard and flips down a mountain. I can ski a little bit. That's as far as I'm going to get.
I'm good at it. I used to be. We'll see. Hang gliding stuff looks good as well. The
Yeah, it does. The paragliding and the
paragliding.
that stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's like, I mean, they gave us a lot of details, but you go and watch the trailer for yourself. It's a kind of a hard game to explain. It's not. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel to me like a video game, because there's no real kind of points. You know what I mean? There's no direct objective. I don't think there's a story. You know what I mean? It's just it is exploration and enjoyment. I think it's probably going to be a very relaxing game.
Yeah, but the one thing I enjoyed from it is that you can create your own courses and then challenge your friends to them. So you
Yeah.
could be going down a route, and if you think one jump is quite difficult to land, you can cut off that particular part, save it, and challenge your friends to see if they can do it. So you know, there's a lot of variety there. Like, you can probably scout around and find some tricky things and see if your friends could do it. I mean, that's one thing I would do. I'd be finding the really difficult one. I'd be like, I did that. Can you do it? Kind of like the Flappy Goat achievement.
Shut your mouth. Okay.
Yeah, but what's the release date on that? Did they say
December. Christmas. Not a Christmas
as
game.
well? Yeah.
And it's fitting, I
Makes
suppose,
sense.
for your trip to the French and Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see myself playing Steep.
Oh yeah, I'll be giving that a try without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like I want to play some form of extreme sports. Like there's nothing really else out there to compare.
Yeah. Probably in the prep
I'd
for
like
that,
to-
we're going to get on the 360 version of SSX, which is the way
SSX,
backwards
which-
compatible,
yeah.
and just, give that a go. It's been so long since I even played a skate game, so something like this is well needed,
Yeah.
Do you want to announce the thing that opened the show and the last thing we're going to talk about because you're super excited?
Yeah. So they opened the show with the new Ghost Recon, which is called Wildlands, another title that they first announced last year, briefly. And last year it stole the show. It's what everyone will say. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody knew what was coming. And Ghost Recon's always been a much loved series in the Tom Clancy universe. And yeah, it looked great in the first time, and I'm just glad that we finally got to see full on gameplay and learn a lot more about it.
Yeah, so the gameplay showed just how open world kind of the Mexico and South America area is. I mean, presumably this was only a small part of the map, and what it shows was a 4-man extraction. So you go in as a team of 4, you can come in from different routes, you can join other people's games seamlessly, you can pick what type of play style you're going to do. One person can be a sniper, 3 people could be snipers, 1 person could be the infiltrator, stuff like that, but everyone has their role. And in as much as there is support is just as much offense as full-on offensive is. There was a certain amount of synchronicity to it. I think when you make a decision in co-op, you are going to have to communicate that to your teammates. I'd say it is a game to be played with a group of friends. And no randoms, no mics.
The option's there to play.
Yeah.
To play
Solo.
solo, but
looks like
it's a co-op game. It's going
looks
to be a
to be
lot
enjoyed,
more fun
yeah.
with 4 people, in my opinion.
So in the extraction, 2 guys came in by helicopter, two guys came in by land. They parked the helicopter a ways away, and you were told you're going to get this particular target, but they want him alive because he's going to have information that'll lead you to a bigger target.
Yeah.
What was he called? The stew maker? I don't know.
Maker, yeah.
I don't know
the guy, the butcher
the
guy.
Espanol for us, so don't ask me. I think it was like Los Pequeños or something. His speciality was very Breaking Bad. He was dissolving bodies in acid.
Yep.
That's just
So,
a
yeah.
normal day for me.
Yeah, that's it. That's Chris's hobby. So you had one guy canvassing the kind of camp, taking out additional NPCs. You had one guy sniping, taking out sentries, and you had 2 guys infiltrating.
Yeah, it was very stealthy as well.
It was intense.
The guy at the front, the guy in the front of the line had a drone. The drone, like you can control the drone and scout out the entire area and mark all your enemies, see your targets and stuff. Which is, as we discussed at the time, Ubisoft love drones at the minute.
Yeah, we forgot to mention the drone and Watch Dogs, but there's a drone and Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Yep, it's their thing. Yeah. So what the mission? They went in to capture this guy. They took out all the enemies, and the bad guy basically escaped. And obviously you've got a sniper far back looking in. You've got 2 guys up front. So it's about finding a way to chase him down and then finding a way to take him out without killing him. So we had someone in a helicopter chasing him. We had people on motorbikes. We had someone in a car. Within a car, or was it just 2 and 2 again?
Well, we had a guy in pickup truck.
That's right. Yeah, and he was
Right.
ran into him.
Yeah, one guy going for the helicopter, and then a guy on a dirt bike, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And then the last guy got on a bike to try and catch
Yeah,
up at the end.
he was left behind. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so like there's so many different ways of transport, which is cool, and you can pick and choose. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of skill.
But freedom is the
Yeah,
key
there's so much
operative here,
freedom.
I think.
Yeah, you can choose which mission to do and when. You can choose how you do each mission, and yeah, it's going to be so much fun as a 4-player co-op. And the graphics as well. The graphics are just phenomenal.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable.
One thing I will say is that when Wildlands launches, it's probably going to mean the death of the Division, because I probably won't be getting off it.
Yeah,
know?
well, I mean, that comes out March 7th.
7th. March
Yeah,
7th.
so the release date is March 7th for Wildlands, which is exactly 1 year after the Division came out. So hopefully by that point, it will be the Division's first year. That'll be the year one over. So they might have a big announcement at that point as well. You know, they might be doing
Yeah.
2.0 update
year two,
or something. Yeah. So even so, the cut off between March and E3 might all be Wildlands, and then they might bring out the big announcement for the Division for the coming year. So I think they've timed it well, but it's all their game anyway, so I don't think they care which one we play.
No, I'm incredibly excited for Wildlands.
Yes, I think, to be honest, I'm probably more excited about Wildlands than I was for the Division. Like the Division,
The hype train is very real for Wildlands at the minute. I think there's probably, I don't know now, I haven't gauged to dive into that. I think the Division kind of had a bigger fanfare when it was initially announced.
Yeah, the Division was released a long time before it was released, whereas Wildlands took us by storm, and we have to wait a year, basically, or 2 years.
So I think as well, people are kind of afraid of being burnt by a lack of content in this type of game again. But
in a way,
I'm sure they're going to announce just how much content is coming to Wildlands. Like, I think with the replayability of Wildlands as well, you're not necessarily going to need to be thinking about dropping as much DLC as quickly. I think you can you'll replay missions and the map will be retaken over by some of the cartel members and stuff. But yeah, the hype train is very real for Wildlands. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm most excited about that for sure. Closely followed by Sea of Thieves, but yeah.
Yeah, like I know we said that, like for me anyway, Ubisoft just as a show was my favourite show to watch visually. But I mean, when I look back through the games as well, like Ghost Recon Wildlands, South Park, the Fractured But Whole, the Division updates, For Honor, Watch Dogs 2 and Steep, I want to play all them games.
Yeah, it's a great lineup. Yeah,
it really is. It's a stronger, like now that we've talked about it, now that we've kind of flushed it out, it's a stronger lineup than I thought it was initially, because I was wrapped up in the presentation of the show.
Yep. That's the same to be honest, the same for each conference. Like we kind of underestimated them all.
Yeah,
until you go through them all.
You pick through them. Yeah, you kind of lay them out on the table.
And then we've had a few days to kind of think about them and get a little bit more detail with each daily show. I think every show was flawless this year. I think it's probably one of the best E3s over on the whole I've probably seen.
Yeah, some people have said it was underwhelming, but I disagree.
I disagree. Yeah.
Yep. That'll about wrap up the Ubisoft conference. I think we've one more to do. I think you and Carl Kango are going to hit up the PS4 and talk some Sony.
Yeah, if Andy's still here, Kenko. Is he gone?
He's dead. He's long dead.
He's No, yeah. So Andy and I we'll be jumping on the PS4 and we'll see what games we have, but it's probably going to be Black Ops 3, basing on the Infinite Warfare being the PlayStation exclusive this year again. We'll talk a lot about Infinite Warfare and stuff like that.
Okay. well, listen, guys, thanks very much for joining us. If you did, please do like and subscribe. You know, it helps. Back with more content very soon. I'm just going to go ahead and thank Chris for joining us.
Yep, thanks, Chris, once again.
No problem.
Thanks for staying the whole thing this time, you know.
Well, I was tired last night, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, part-timer. Okay, guys, have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheerio.